So you folks live in the same complex there?
Yes, we live in the same, it's like a shared home almost. I guess you could say it's like a duplex almost.
And so, Ms. Myers, I'll start with you. Could you raise your, and again, I should say, as far as I know, no relation. She has the same last name as I do, but I'm not related to her, I don't think. And so, you raise your right hand, ma'am. You swear and affirm the information testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do, Your Honor.
You can put your hand down. Um, how is it you need an order against Ms. Adams?
So there has been so many instances where I have just felt like she's been coming to my window, yelling through my window, and I have just kind of been putting up with it. I wasn't sure what to do, so I called the cops because she had been yelling through my window one night and I was ignoring her and she's screaming and yelling about my cat. And my son was laying on the couch and he started crying. So I noticed that it started to like affect him because he got scared. So then I called the cops and
What is she yelling?
she's yelling, "You need to come get your cat. It's cold outside. They need to come inside." And yelling like, "I'm gonna call Animal Protective Services or whatever." She seems to be super concerned about my animals, or she's calling my animals a lot, and I've told her to just leave them alone. Um, this was in the middle of the night, so I called the cops. I just had
What do you
told
mean
them,
by the middle of the night? The middle of the night can be 6:30 at night to someone. Some other
well,
people, the middle of the night's 2 a.m.
it was dark, so but it wasn't like 2 a.m. I want to say it was like 7 o'clock at night because my
I
son
see.
was still up. Um, so when
How
I
many animals do you have? You said my animals, and then I heard about a cat. You have more than one
Yeah,
animal?
I do. I have three cats.
Okay, continue on. Sorry.
That's okay. So I contacted the police and I told them that this has been something that I just like, I'm not sure what to do. She's yelling through my window, she's scaring my son, and it's gotten to the point where I feel like I can't like open my blinds. I have to cover windows. She doesn't really listen when it comes to me just saying like to leave me alone. At first I told them I was like I don't have like any proof. I'm like this has all been like verbal, and they're actually the ones that um like told me to get an anti-harassment protection order because they're like if she's just saying these things and you get that protection order, then that means that when you call, then we can actually do something. But every time that it would happen, I would call just to like put it on record. I don't have a record of the police of me calling the police because I tried to get like a online and I submitted to get records and then it said it took 5 days and then they weren't able to get them and so then I have to wait another 5 days. So it just I wasn't able to get those specific ones, but I did have a friend that was present during one of these instances where she brought her kids over and whenever her kids come over, she'll come to my window and say they can play for a little bit, but after that, they can't play because she can't take the screaming. And our kids are like 11, 8, 2 are 11 and like 8. So they're just playing like normal kids will. And when we told her that just to like leave us alone, she started calling me a bitch. She's yelling, "You're a bitch. You're just a bitch." And then she's like, "Do you want to fight?" And for me, it just is causing me anxiety because it's around my son. And I've talked to the landlord. Even the maintenance people have come to me and said that she'll yell at them as well to like leave or so it's just like a constant thing. And the only reason I'm even doing this protection order right now is because my son is getting affected by it. Like he even is so anxious about it, or when she comes to the window, he'll be like, "Can we just move?" Because it's such a constant. And she isn't doing anything to us like physically, but it's to the point where it's like mentally where we're just like can't even be comfortable in our home.
And how long have you lived there?
I've lived here for almost 2 years in August.
And then, was she there when you got there, or did she
She,
move in after that?
she wasn't. She moved in after, and the
And
landlord
how
had,
did things go? It sounds like I read some of your, I mean, you had some texts from other people. It sounds like things started off well, or at least not bad.
yeah, they were okay in the beginning. The landlord had told me because he wanted to he knew that I had my son who's young, he's 11, and that I work night shift. So he was talking to me about like trying to bring someone in that's quiet and who isn't going to be loud because he's like, I know you work night shift. So he was under the impression that there wasn't going to be any issues. When I started going to him about it, he would apologize to me and he would say like, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize that she was going to be this difficult. I would text him and he would say like I'm gonna talk to her. And when he would talk to her, it would go little periods of time where she would just leave me alone, but then it would just escalate after that. And I personally like when I live in places, and I've lived in a lot of places. I've lived in Georgia, I've lived in Kansas, I lived on military posts where I've never had this happen. So I wasn't sure what to do. Um, it's just come to the point where my son can't even play outside, or my friend doesn't even want to come over with their kids because she's like, oh, she's gonna come yell at us, or my son is like, she'll tell me stuff about the cat, and she's like even directly talking to my son sometimes, and he's 11.
Okay. Let me hear from her. Hang on just a second. You submitted a video.
I did. So once this started, and I had talked to the cops, and I had told them, I'm like, I have no proof because it's all been verbal. They advised me to get a camera for my front door. And they said that they would be able to use those because I said that to them. I was like, am I even able to use that? Like, and they're like, yeah, we use it all the time in instances. Can I add one more thing as well, just to add
Yes.
to the story? There is like this one hose, and it does sound very trivial, but so there's a hose that we share, and it has like a spigot, like the nozzle on the end, and we're supposed to share it. She took it off and said that she was going to keep it in her place because she has had it stolen before. I've almost been here for 2 years and I've had no issues, like nothing. Nobody's come onto the property. It's been safe. I've had no issues at all. So I just let it be because I don't want it to be an issue. So my friend lent me a hose and the spigot on the end, or the trigger thing that you put to like wash a car or whatever. I went back
Nozzle.
Yeah, a nozzle. I went back out there and
Thank.
it was gone. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like she took it." And
Okay.
I'm like, for me to go knock on her door to ask for something that is mine, I didn't even want to do that because I'm like, I already know this is going to be an issue. She's going to say something about the nozzle. She's going to like, you don't just take something that's not yours. So I did contact the police. And I apologized so many times because I feel like I'm wasting their time. And I told them, I was like, I'm so sorry. They keep reassuring me. They're like, no, this is what we're here for. It's not okay that this happened. She shouldn't be doing these kinds of things. And I'm like, and I know it's such a trivial thing, but I shouldn't have to like worry about my property being taken by someone. And then I have to go knock on their door to be like, can you please give it back? She tried to imply that her one in the back was stolen. I don't even go in the back in her area at all. At all. Like I don't touch anything back there. She
Did
said
you
that
get your nozzle back?
I did. She gave it back to them. So she did say that she took it. So that's like the thing too that I'm like, I don't
Okay.
understand. So it's just been an ongoing issue.
Let me hear from her.
Okay.
Ma'am, raise your right hand. You swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I can put your hand down. What's your response to what you just heard?
Did you receive, this is 11 pages of my,
When did that come in?
I didn't know I was supposed to have it like a week ahead of time. I got reprimanded at the counter. I brought it
when?
in Wednesday or Thursday. It's directly to you or your honor.
Respondents exhibits. No, I did not see that, to tell you the truth. 12 pages.
Do you want to take a moment and read it? It's
Yeah,
not
I
really,
do.
okay, I'll be quiet then.
So, I don't know if you had a chance to read what she submitted there, Ms. Meyer.
I didn't, not if it wasn't able to go through.
No, it was all handwritten and it's there, but it was submitted on Wednesday. You know, on at the final paragraph, and I have a number of questions.
Okay.
And the first is, I'm fine with never having to interact with Bianca Meyer or her son again. However, I expect the same consideration. I do not want her, her son, her friend, or her friend's children anywhere within my sight. I don't want any of them to set foot in your yard. Isn't it a shared yard?
It's not really, the way it's situated, it's an old house. And when I moved in just a little over a year ago, and she'd moved in, and it doesn't really matter how long, but just 4 months before me. It seems to be an issue with her. So she's in the old house. And part of it, it goes off like here and in the back. And it was just a big room. And the landlord converted into a house, basically. So and also, so she has the front yard. I would prefer it the other way around, but because I'm responsible for mowing the backyard. She has no entrance. She doesn't have a back door. In my contract, it says I'm responsible for mowing the lawn and taking care of the lawn, and which I broke my wrist completely in half by trying to move a branch. But not only that, it's private. My living, how I live and move about in my apartment is private. The landlord has, I probably shouldn't mention it because it'll get repeated back. There's some gossiping going on, I've noticed in that circle, but where he's come on the property, and we're not always, this is my home and it's private back there. There's fence and everybody's out there. So you walk about your home comfortable. I'm not
So I'm not completely following everything you're saying to me. My question to you, I think, was a pretty simple one.
okay.
And that is the backyard shared? And it's not uncommon to have common areas in rental property, like
It
an
is not in
apartment.
the
You can have-
contract
ma'am,
it
please
is
don't
not in the
interrupt me.
contract.
Can you please not interrupt me, please?
I'm sorry.
I won't interrupt you either, all right? So, but is the general understanding that's a common area where, I mean, she apparently has a kid who sometimes hangs out there with friends. Is that she was telling me and someplace else in there that was a shared backyard. And so is that or is that not the case in your opinion?
It is not. And also, this is how I'm very, very disappointed, and I'm surprised that she's done this because I've been very generous to her. I've given her furniture, I've given her clothes, I've given her linen, I've taken care of her cats while she started a graveyard shift at the hospital in Tacoma. I don't believe that her son is a nervous type. She leaves him home all night long by himself. He's fine at 11. I've talked with the boy. I've offered if he's afraid, I'm right there. You can come and talk to me. I've given him a guitar. I've just been neighborly. And like I said, I took care of her cats for a couple of weeks while she got acclimated. And how I took care of them is she couldn't get them in the house and they needed to be in the house. She expects me not to speak to her cats. We're all right there together. We share a laundry room, but her cats are on top of my car. I don't mind. It's a 24-year-old car. They like to sleep on the sunroof. Pearl was there yesterday. She doesn't even want me to speak to them. And they're on my deck. And Jordan, one of the boy cats, managed to get in. He chewed his way through the pet thing that I had made and got into the house. And I have 6 cats myself, but it wasn't a friendly environment for the first 6 months when I moved in. She did not want me to go into her yard. She came out and yelled at me and embarrassed me in front of the maintenance guy. And I was just standing there asking him if I could make him a couple sandwiches for lunch. And she comes out and her friend's right there with her. And I needed to cross over to her yard. to go around to the back to carry lumber. I'm not going to carry it through my house like that because I was building a pet enclosure. She has repeatedly told me she does not want me in her front yard. I'm not lingering. And I also, and I'm sorry, I mean, if the landlord could rig something else up with the faucet, I'm fine. But it's right there. I'm not the curtains are closed a lot, and I did communicate with her through her window. Sometimes she'd sit on the couch, her and Hunter, and we'd visit a little bit for whatever the reason was. I wasn't yelling at her. I did call out to her, and I mentioned that about Pearl. She just had surgery, and it was pouring down rain, and I was leaving to go to the store, and Pearl was looking at me to get her in, and she wasn't responding. But anyway, no, we were friends. We weren't friends. I want to say we were friends, even though she helped me with some things too. I broke my wrist. She zipped up my pants for me, offered to take me to the ER. She took my cat litter in for me. She took my water in for me. And and all of a sudden in January, I offered to have her cat. I got a $300 voucher to have Pearl fixed and set up the appointment. She was all fine with it. All of a sudden, no, that's off. I didn't. I said, that's fine. I'm not going to do any more. I won't do any more for you. And I walked out of the picture. So I'm not in it the first 6 months. I feel attacked. And then she started approaching me. She helped me dig a hole. I lost one of my cats. I'm out in the backyard digging a hole with a broken wrist. She had dug the first few holes, So we were interacting neighborly. I had told her originally after the first 6 months, and I saw it wasn't going well. I said, look, we're going to get along one way or another because I'm not moving. And maybe that is her goal. My landlord has never come to me and said there was a problem. When she puts her arm, people will do this to us without doing this, okay? And I stay away. I've never been okay with the kids in the backyard. And this is my home. Sometimes I walk to get something in the kitchen or whatever, naked. I really don't want that to come back to the court and say I was showing myself naked to the children when I don't even know that they're out there. It is a private backyard. She doesn't have entrance through the back door. There is nothing in my contract said that it was shared. And for the first year, nobody, the kids didn't go back there. And all of a sudden one day I come home and why should I have to put up with all these other kids that don't even live there in my backyard screaming? I'm not a well person as it is. I have a lot of health issues and I need peace and quiet in my own home. And that's all I'm asking for. I can stay away from her. I don't need to anything. And I won't. This is not reconcilable at all. I'm really hurt by her because I've given her nice furniture and other things. I've just tried to be neighborly with her, and I'm really disappointed that she has felt that she needs to do this. The nozzle, it happened more in the apartment I lived in. Somebody took my nozzle, cut the end of the hose. So that's just habit. She knows I was in a habit of doing that. Didn't steal anything. She goes on to say that I stole her possessions. What possessions? It was the nozzle. And I've got had a heart attack, 10 o'clock at night. I've got 2 police officers at my door. I've got a family too. And I'm thinking something's happened to them over a nozzle. She knows all she has to do is ask me. I did get upset because when I went to the window, because the kids were out playing when I came home that day, and it's all in here. And I asked, I just talked to the window, and her friend was standing right there. There's no sense in knocking. They're probably not even going to come anyway, to tell her friend to tell the kids to quiet down. Because that's all. And her son was not present. He was in the backyard when I went there, because it's right there. And he was there when I went back. She's lying to you. She's lying to the court.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
Yeah, give me a minute here. Go ahead, ma'am, Ms. Meyer.
So the first time that the incident happened with the kids in the backyard, which the yard is huge. It's a really huge backyard. Like right behind the house, there's another set of apartments that kids all play in back there. Like we're surrounded by houses, so there's kids that play in this on the other side of the fence. So the first time that this happened with the yard, I did talk to the landlord and I did say, she's saying that the yard isn't shared. I just like wanted to make sure because I'm like, if it's not shared, then I won't have Hunter go back there. And he said, no, the backyard is shared. He said that it's an open area. He's like, why would there be that big backyard if your son couldn't play in it? Like there was even toys, there was even like a house back there that he put back there for my son to play with. Um, in regards to her saying that she has been generous, um, I know that she is elderly. I know that she's older. I tried to be polite and I just have been trying to be nice. So, yes, of course, like when she asks me for help or when she wants to say like, "Oh, I have this for you." I'm like, "Oh, sure, like I'll look through it." But that doesn't like justify the way that she has been talking to me or the way that she approaches my window or anything. Like I have never given her anything. I've helped her with things, but I'm not saying like, "Oh, I've been generous to her." So because I've been that way, that should give her no right to do anything to me. That's not the case. So I have
What
never
about the guitar?
the guitar. I don't, she gave my son a guitar and she told me, and I was like, oh, that's really nice. And then she asked for it back. So that was the end of the story for that.
How
There,
long did he have the guitar?
oh, not very long. He didn't really play with it. I want to say it was like maybe a few weeks or so. Like she gave it and then it was just kind of there. And then she asked for it back and then that was the end of it. Um, And I didn't even think anything of that. I didn't even remember that until she said that. But I will say that when she says that she's supposed to mow her own lawn, I'm not sure how that is for her because for me, um the landlord has maintenance people that come out and mow it. They take care of that on my side at least. So um there was one instance where right in front of my door, I heard yelling and there was stuff going on. So I went out there and I was like, what's going on? And the maintenance men are like, oh, we went out to the backyard to mow the lawn, but your neighbor came out and started yelling at us, saying, like, what are you doing on my property? So we stopped and we came out. And then she's doing that. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, I kept trying to figure out what was going on. And she's like, this has nothing to do with you. This has nothing to do with you. So it was just kind of like an issue, but it's all happening in by my front door. And in those videos that I sent you, it shows her walking in the front door, like through the front of like my door. And the reason that I say that there's no reason for her to be in the front is because she has access to the backyard through her area. And for her to come out in front, it's like I'm surrounded by her basically. So she'll walk out and she'll come around to my window, yell through my window. She'll walk around all the way to the back. Plus she has, so it's, I feel like I'm surrounded where she's in the back and I never go back there unless my son is playing. And it's so, I was gonna even like draw a diagram because I'm like, the yard is so far back there. It's not even close to her place. She has a huge patio and the yard is way in the back. So they're not even close to her windows or anything. And they're not even interested in like what's going on over here around her. They're out there playing and they're not screaming. They're only 8 and 11. So I have talked to the landlord. He has confirmed that it is a shared yard. The maintenance men have come to me multiple times about her. And even just a few days ago, they came out and mowed my lawn and they were like, I brought my wife and I like he's the maintenance guy's like I brought my girlfriend to help me mow the lawn and I'm trying to move quickly because I know that the neighbor might yell or do something. So they are even aware. They brought it to me about the way that she's speaking to them and I just apologize. I'm just like I know I feel the same way because I can't even be in my home because she comes and yells in the windows. So it's not something that I'm just like throwing up out of thin air. Like it's something that has been ongoing. I've just kind of dealt with it because I'm like, I don't know what else to do. And then my family and my friends have come to me and been like, no, that's harassment. You don't just like have someone come to your window and yell through the window. I am not a yeller. I don't scream. I don't yell. I'm a single mom. I've raised my son. He's 11 years old, and she says that he's not a nervous kid. My son is literally has anxiety. He's been diagnosed with sensory delay because he gets overstimulated in situations. If I have to like give you documents about his IEP and his anxiety, like I can also do that. My son is lives in a two-house household. He lives with his dad, he lives with me. It's not always an easy situation. And for me, this is solely about my son. I just don't want him to feel like we have to worry about the neighbor coming to the window. Like he will tell me like, Mom, like we should just move because it's so much. Like it's gotten to a point where it's so much. She says that she's going to leave me alone, but I have left her alone since the incident with the cat and the vet. I
Hang on
just
just a minute. Sorry, Ms. Meyer. Find out who that is and don't let them in until they identify themselves. Okay. You've already let them in. Yeah. You may continue, Ms. Meyer.
um I also just like want to add that if I need to, because I did talk to the landlord about this, he is aware that I have filed this anti-harassment and he advised me to like go ahead. So I've been told by multiple people that it's something that I should just do because I don't know what to do at this point. Um, she even her saying like she knows when my son is here alone or things like that, like that's like how even just saying things like that is how she's aware of like things that are going on. I have a friend that comes and picks him up. He's with his dad part of the night. So that's even that I'm like, she's so focused and knows what is going on in my place or around me. So that I don't have any idea what's going on with her ever because she's constantly over here. So the reason that she says that she says that I'll leave her alone and I won't have any contact with her. We tried that with the cat and it just escalated and got worse. So that's why I'm at the point where I'm like, if this doesn't go through, is it going to make me to the point where I'm going to have to move because she says that she's not going to talk to me or leave me alone? But I feel like since that it has escalated because that last incident where she was yelling through my window calling me a bitch, she literally was like, "You're a bitch. Do you want to fight?" Like she literally was yelling that through my window. My friend was there too and she I sent you the document of when she said that. Like that it's come to the point where it's just too much. My landlord already confirmed that it's a backyard that is shared. He's already confirmed that. And he's been here when the kids were in the backyard. He has been here present and he's never approached me and he did not say they need to go in the front because that's her backyard. And if I need to get like a letter or something from the landlord, I can also do that because I know that he has talked to her. And he, even in that, I sent you a text message from him as well, even saying, like, I'm going to talk to her. She needs to leave you alone. Like, he's been aware of it.
Um, Go ahead. I'll hear from you, ma'am.
There's a video.
Yes. I mean, it's very short. I don't think it shows
What
me that
is
much.
it of? Am I calling her out to fight with the broken wrist?
No,
I'm
there's
70
no,
years
as
old.
far as I
I
can.
don't do
Okay,
that.
so,
That's a lie.
okay. Um,
But if it's on the recording and I
No,
don't know what,
there's-
maybe I'm out of my mind or something.
you know, earlier you had said like the landlord favors her. What
He
did,
does
what did you
favor
mean by
her.
that?
He does, excuse me?
What did you mean by that?
He does favor. He was, all right, here's an example. She requested an immediate protection order. The day that, I'll get to that, because he was screaming at me about her being out there. So she
The
ordered,
landlord was screaming at you.
landlord was screaming at me. And I said, you're showing favoritism. So she filed a immediate protection order on May 5th. You've read this. On the next day, I'm standing on my deck. The landlord had come out because there's a problem with the raccoons. So he's out in the backyard too. She comes out around her house. So she's coming around the back. And so there's this opening between the fence and the house. And she's standing there with her friend, and I'm on the deck, and she's faced toward me and giving me the dirtiest looks. She's provoking me. And then she's leaning into her friend, whispering. And I told the landlord, she's standing right there, provoking me. This is I have no privacy here. So she did that. And then exactly 6 days later, the maintenance guy, I guess, brought his girlfriend. I've never had a problem with them. When I first moved in, I didn't know. The landlord doesn't give you any notice. He's just all over the place. But I'm standing in my kitchen. I'm going, who's this guy in my backyard? I yelled out, what are you doing in my backyard? That was the end of it. That was all it was. But she's made more out of it than it is. She's adding things to things and blowing them up to make a case for herself. And she's lying. So again, so the maintenance guy comes over. He's got his girlfriend. This was May 12th, 6 days from. She needs that immediate protection from me. I could see that the maintenance guy, he was mowing my little lawn, part of my lawn, what I cut out for myself. And his wife was there, I guess, her girlfriend, and over by where she was at, she was hiding there between the house and the fence, gossiping. That's what she's doing. I've had nothing to do with her. Since January, when she declined my offer to take the cat to the vet because she told me she didn't have any money to pay for Pearl to get fixed because Pearl had gotten pregnant twice. The cats are all over the place. I don't know how she expects me not to talk to them or have anything to do with them. They're all over the place. Then I told her I was leaving from my house. It was going to the store. It was pouring down rain, and I could see her in there. I don't go to her window. And I had gone to her when we were talking a couple different times. If I went up to her, I can't help it that the nozzle's by her window. I don't even look at it now, but I had left that night. It's pouring down rain, and Pearl she was all over the place trying to get in the house, and she couldn't get her attention. And I said, Pearl needs to come in. I'm not screaming. I'm at my car in the driveway. And she ignores me. And I could tell she heard me.
So ma'am, I'm just going to stop you for a second, but I frankly feel like you're raising a voice at me.
I'm not I'm absolutely not. I'm upset that I'm being accused and that she's making it sound like more than it is. This is me. When I get upset, I'm going to get a little bit loud. And she's lying. She's just lying. She's trying to use this to try to get me evicted is what she's trying to do.
What's the situation with your cats, ma'am, Ms. Meyer?
Yes. I rescued Pearl, the one she was talking about, and she got pregnant. I couldn't afford to get her fixed. She's fixed now. She offered to help me with it, and I was like, sure, like that would be great. But she wanted me to put up like $300 and something, which is a lot for me. So I ended up just finding somewhere where I could do it for 90. And so then I told her that. I just simply said, I scheduled something else and it's $90, and that was the end of it. And she was like, I could tell she was upset. She's like, don't ask me to help you anymore. Like, don't ask me to help you. And then she left, and I was just like, okay. My cats are outdoor and indoor cats. They'll come and like meow at the door when they want to come in. So then I'll let them in. I don't have there was no issues with the cats just like roaming. I have friends that have indoor and outdoor cats. It's pretty normal. And then at night I get them in here. The only reason that I feel like they're even by her door or by her car or they go out into her porch is because she puts food out there. So she talks about like a raccoon issue, but she puts food out in the front and in the back. And her cats are only indoor cats. So of course it's going to attract animals, or my cats are going to go over there and eat the food that she puts out. I have like talked to the landlord about that as well, because he did come to me the day that she's talking about, like where she said that the landlord was yelling at her, my son and my friend's kids were in the back. So we just went out there to look at them because we know that she will talk to them or she'll yell. So when I went out there, I looked at the landlord and she seen me look at her. I wasn't staring her down. And so then she starts to yell and says, "She's staring me down. Don't you see her? She's staring me down." And then that's why the landlord raised his voice, is because she was yelling. So then he yelled and he said, "She's not doing anything. She can look wherever she wants to look." And then he says, like, that's why he raised his voice. So he wasn't directly yelling at her. He was yelling because she was yelling and he was trying to de-escalate the situation. Um, I wasn't going back there to provoke her. I just wanted to make sure that she wasn't going to talk to the kids, because the kids will come in here and you know how it is with like 8-year-olds and 11-year-olds. They will tell you every single thing that everybody is saying. They'll tell you every single thing. So that's why I was like, I don't want them to see anything. I just don't want them to be around like like the dysfunction. My son has never been around people yelling at him like that, so he's not used to it. Um, I know that right now it sounds like it's like so much like she said, like a he said, she said situation. And that's what I was afraid of. And that's what I talked to the cops about. Because I was like, so far, it's just been so many verbal things. Um, I have no intention of trying to get her evicted. That's not why I'm doing this. I just want it to be something where I know for a fact that she's not going to talk to me or talk to my son. The window, she says that she comes, like she literally is saying, I come and talk to her through the window. That isn't a normal behavior. I've lived in apartments, I've lived in duplexes. I've never had neighbors come and talk to me through the window. They will knock on my door, and if I don't answer, I don't answer. And then that's that. And if they want to see me, or they'll leave a note or something, but it's never, I feel like she's saying, even her saying like I come to her window, or like it's just getting to be too much. So I know, and I've talked to the landlord, he doesn't favor me. I think it's because of the way that I speak to him, and we both hold respect for each other, that he is speaking to me the way that he's speaking to me. I've never had any issues. I've never had to call him for anything. If there's something that needs to be fixed, I fix it. Um, I even feel bad even contacting him about this, because he already has so many things that he needs to worry about. And then me saying like, "Oh, this is the neighbors here talking to me again. The neighbors here going through coming to my window again." Um, I, yeah, it's just gotten to be too much.
You can have the final word there.
I will. She's lying. I got her a $300 voucher in my name. I obviously being a senior, I can get help from other resources. I've never asked her to pay for it. That's why she said she didn't have the money. So she's lying. It was a $300 voucher, and I made the appointment with my vet. Anyway, so she's lying about that. I've never yelled at her son, ever. There's been no kids around in the backyard for an entire year, and then all of a sudden all these kids just show up. But I have never yelled at her. Yes, I'm loud because I'm upset right now, you know, and that's just part of my emotional makeup. That's just how it goes. As far as talking to her through her window, we were cordial at that time. The way it's situated is it's a long driveway, and I go drive all the way to the back, and she just pulls up on the gravel. And she has one of those old picture windows. Well, I see her, the curtain was open, we're getting along, and the window's open a little bit. I walk past, and oh, hi. And instead of going to the door, instead of her getting up, she has to walk around a sectional couch, I chit-chatted with her for a second. There's nothing, I don't see anything odd or mental about that. It's just being neighborly, period. And anyway, she's literally is just taking everything. I will go back to this video. Is that lawful? I mean, it's on private property. I didn't know I was being videotaped.
See, it's okay to have a security camera over your front door, which is what she has.
I never saw one, and
Well,
I was
that doesn't
kind
mean
of
it's not there.
suspicious, huh?
Doesn't mean it's not there.
Okay, but shouldn't it be posted that it's there?
No.
I read online that it should.
I don't,
Oh, okay,
I
well,
don't think
wow.
so.
Yeah, I've been wanting to get one too, but I didn't have that kind of money. Can she see me?
Can she see you
Yeah.
from here? Yes, I assume so. She's got her
Okay.
camera on.
So anyway, this is just going back and forth. I am troubled about the continuing. It wasn't so, all I asked for was the kids to have the kids to quiet down. That's all. That's it. Oh, as far as her son, she's making it kind of sound like I'm kind of being a little creepy with her son. I knew that he was home the last time that I knew he was home. I was out spraying the rocks and everything else off the long driveway, and I saw him in there. And I just went up there and talked to him for a minute. He shared some things about himself with me, and I'm right here if you get scared or anything. I've always been nice to him. And he had the guitar for a couple months, but it doesn't matter the length of time. My daughter came over. I didn't know that she still wanted it back because it's a sentimental thing. She doesn't even play. I was going to, and I wrote that. I was looking around for something else to replace it, but none of this is going to happen now. I'm through with her. I don't want her coming in. If the kids come back in there, and kids are loud, and little girls, they're screeching. They're like that. All this kind of behavior, standing there intimidating me. Well, I'm in my own house, or I'm on my deck enjoying my day with my cats, and her friend. Her friend's terrible. Her friend's kind of nasty. She's one that set me off that day. That's why I called her a bitch. And the fight. Oh, well, I don't have to get into that with you. We know that's not true. Then whatever you want to do.
Thank you.
She's gonna say whatever she wants to say, and boy, this is gonna come back to bite her in her lifetime. Shouldn't be dishonest. She will be found out.
So a couple of things. I previously read the definition of unlawful harassment. I'm going to do it again. Actually, hang on just a minute. Sorry. Unlawful harassment is a knowing and willful course of conduct directed at a specific person that seriously alarms, annoys, harasses, or is detrimental to such person and serves no legitimate or lawful purpose. Course of conduct must be such as would cause a reasonable person to suffer substantial emotional distress and must actually cause substantial emotional distress to the petitioner. Course of conduct is a series of acts over a period of time, however short, evidencing continuity of purpose. Course of conduct includes any form of communication, contact, or conduct, including the sending and it gets in electronic communication. We don't need to do that. You know, this is, these are tough cases, but on the other hand, unfortunately, we see these sorts of cases quite frequently, either apartment complexes, and as far as I can tell, these are two living establishments on the same piece of property, as far as I can tell. Is that accurate?
It is.
Can we agree on that?
It is.
And so apparently there's a shared back, again, Ms. Meyer told me this is a shared backyard. You say there's nothing in their contract about that. But Ms. Myers indicated that the landlord has indicated that's a shared backyard. And that makes sense to me, given the description of the premises. On the other hand, orders of these sorts, in such confined areas, can be problematic. They can be difficult to enforce. They can create all kinds of things about whether or not, does this violate the order or not? If there's distance restrictions, don't come within X amount of feet and all that sort of stuff. And Ms. Meyer comes and she's listigated a number of things that Ms. Adams is alleged to have done. And again, you're right in the sense, and Ms. Adams is right in the sense that, yeah, just talking to someone through their window, yeah, that's not a problem. People do that when you walk by. Oh, yeah, how's it going? And that's one characterization of the communication between the conversation through the window. On the other hand, Ms. Meyer says, no, she comes and stands at my window and berates me and tells me all the things I'm doing wrong with regard to the cats and my child, I should say, it's not children. And the kids are in the back and all this sort of stuff. And so one person's conversation is another person's, for lack of a better word, harassment. And, and I kind of have to judge this based on, I judge it on a lot of things, what's been submitted, evidence, and the testimony of witnesses and evidence combined with how people behave in court and the manner in which they present themselves. And so you had indicated earlier, I can do what I want. And yes, thank you. I do have the discretion to enter an order that I feel is appropriate. And
May I say one last thing? And then I'll leave you alone.
I'm not sure how I can stop you, but go ahead.
Just for fun. She,
I don't, okay, I'm going to stop you about that.
she
I don't,
indicated,
hang on just a second.
I just
stop.
want to see her
Just
response.
stop for a minute.
Oh.
Listen to me.
Okay.
Okay. So, actually that throwaway comment actually tells me quite a lot. This isn't fun. This
It's
isn't fun
not.
for her. I don't think it's fun for you. It's not very much fun for me to sit there and listen to two people who live next to each other and are going to continue to live next to each other. So when you say things like, well, this is just for fun, kind of tells me how seriously you're taking it. Now, go ahead. You wanted to say something? Go right ahead.
Well, that just kind of popped out of my mouth because I'm bewildered about this, that anybody would say something about another person like this. But I see, because she does like to gossip. I'm curious as her explanation of, she checked that I tried to kill myself. Could we get a response for that? Because I did indicate, I couldn't understand it for the longest time, and I wanted to respond to that. And so I Googled it, and there is an explanation of why somebody would start that kind of a rumor. And I would like to hear why she would check that on that thing.
Ms. Meyer, go ahead.
I'm not exactly sure what she's talking about.
Okay, so hang on just a minute. Let me look at your petition. I assume that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Where are you talking about?
I'm going to get it, because I wouldn't have said anything about it if it wasn't on here.
It says on the petition on page 12 of the position, it says suicidal behavior. Describe any threats. And
That's not
blank.
it. There's another place. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm just trying to find it for myself. I saw that too, but that's not it. Just 1 second. I think it's before that. Oops, just 1 second, please. Because it's in here. Well, she must know she checked it, because,
She said she didn't know what you were talking about.
yeah, well, I do know what I'm talking about. It's in here. I just need a minute. I'm just overly anxious right now. My heart, here it is. It's on page 2. It says, disability, hazard, and weapon information about the restrained person. And it's checked suicide attempt or threats. First, she says,
That was on the law enforcement.
yeah, it says, does a restrained person have a disability, brain injury, or impairment?
That was on the
It says
LEA.
unknown, and then it's checked suicide attempt. I don't have that in my life.
So it does check that in the information that was sent, the law enforcement. Do you know why that box was checked, Ms. Meyer?
I don't. I did. If she's saying that it has, like, if there's multiple things, if it says like,
No, it
suicide-
says, does this person have a disability, brain injury, or impairment? That's unknown. Hazard information, history includes, and then the box checks. Suicide attempt or threats.
I must have read it where it said or threats, which I was assuming was like threatening. So I didn't. I thought it was like a multiple
Okay.
thing.
That meant suicide attempt or threats of suicide. So do you take that perceived as threats to you?
Yeah, when she was telling me like, do you want to fight? I was assuming that it was just threats in general. I thought it was, I didn't realize that it said it's to like pertaining to suicide. But there has
So
nothing.
do you have any thoughts of that, or do you remember anything like, oh, I see what you're saying. But you're not saying there that you're aware of any suicide attempts or not.
No, absolutely not.
Does that clear that up for you?
Yeah. I apologize for my
It's all right.
outburst. I'm very upset by the whole thing because I have to live so close to her and I can't move. I've moved myself out. I'm not well enough to move again, so she can't live with it, and she wants to make all this stuff up. I don't know what else to say about it. But I don't know what to tell her about her cats. That's up to you, because they're all, and I don't feed them anymore. The landlord did make an issue about me putting the food out, and so I'm not putting any out since he was here. He's in
Yeah,
Florida right
well, let me
now.
ask you, why would you do that?
The food?
Yeah,
Okay, because it's cat food. I have 6 cats,
right.
and a lot of
I'm
times,
told they're all inside though.
yes, my cats are inside. That's why I
So
have.
why would you put cat food outside?
Well, I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
And they're not allowed outside. They just have the enclosure on the deck. But they're spoiled. They always have a lot of food, dry food and wet food. And there's always leftover. And I don't want anything to go into the garbage. And so I put it out. Well, anyway.
So hang on a second.
Yes.
So you're saying your cats, you put that out there,
Because there's leftovers.
okay, for leftover of your food.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you realize that attracts like other hang on, let me finish, please. The cats and raccoons, which are a danger to cats.
Yes.
And so that by leaving that food out there, that attracts
Yes.
those cat predators.
Well, I have a raccoon and some babies underneath the house now. They're tearing up underneath the kitchen floor.
Right.
And we're working on that. And I've got a mother and father possum. They're the cutest thing. I got videos on that. And I got a little gray mouse that lives underneath the house. And that little raccoon come up to the door the other day. It was the cutest thing. I have a glass window for my door, and it was like this. I haven't looked up, walking past, I haven't looked up, and it was like this. It was the raccoon, the mama. She just lost a bunch of weight. She asked him for the food.
Right.
It was so
But
cute.
do you understand, while raccoons are very cute, and I agree with that, those are dangerous for cats.
They already want 2 of them.
And so
Already stole one of my cats and
Right.
took it and ate it. I know.
right. So why would you put something out there that attracts them?
I know. I'm my heart's double on that. I know, because 2 of them did take it.
So here's where I'm at, ma'am. Based on it, again, of course, I have to make certain, I'm hearing one thing from you, I'm hearing another thing from Ms. Meyer, and then and I know this has probably gone on longer than either one of you would have liked, but nonetheless, here we are. And so I have to make determinations one way or the other, and make credibility assessments, and then just make a decision based on everything that I've presented. And for what I'm going to do basically is I do find that and maybe you didn't realize it, and maybe you do now, that your behavior and the interaction between you and Ms. Meyer has gone beyond what one would perceive as normal and does go into harassing behavior. So an order is going to be entered, and the only parameter of this order is, like a lot of times we have, don't engage in stalking behavior, which really isn't the case. Can't do really a distance restriction, because I can't enter an order that makes you leave or anything like that. You're just not to contact her or her child. Don't communicate with her. Don't do anything. Some of the things you say, I don't necessarily find to be, you might think that she was provoking you, but I can't make any for finding that she did anything to provoke you. She was just out there and she gave me a mean look. Well, I just don't look at that as being provocative. And also, it makes sense to me that that's a shared yard, and that's a big yard that kids are going to play in. And kids, you have at least one child you mentioned.
I don't
kids.
have any children.
I thought you said your daughter was on the guitar. Was I wrong about that?
My children are in their 50s.
I
I'm
know.
70 years old.
Well, they're still your children. And when they were young, I'll bet when they played, they made some noise. And so my point being that if you have experience raising children. And when children play with friends outdoors, that sometimes can be loud. And that's just goes with the territory of kids playing. And so, and that's, again, I'm just saying that just for the purpose of saying that. So the order is going to be entered. It's going to be in one place, and you're just not to, and by the other point I was going to make, these cats are Ms. Meyer's responsibility, and she's the one who needs to look after them and all that sort of stuff. And you're not and so you just need to remember that and let her take care of her own cats. However, if she's doing something wrong or what have you, that can be up to other people, but you're not to be responsible or worried about her cats. You understand that?
I quit feeding them.
Okay. And so that's where it's at, and it'll exist for 1 year. And that's where we're at. Do you have any questions at all about what this order is going to say?
I'm still concerned about her and her friend standing out in the backyard and trying to intimidate me. I really, truly am. Her friend is not a pleasant person at all.
Your Honor, can I say something?
No, I don't think you should at this time.
Okay.
I'm going to say something though, and that is, her friend isn't here. And, people are going to be able to stand where they're allowed to be. They can stand in the shared backyard. You can too. And you're just not to talk to each other. And if you have an issue with her friend, you can, you can take whatever steps that are necessary to deal with that. Or, but that's, I'm not this order doesn't going to govern who she can have over and all that sort of stuff. And if they start doing something, harassing to you, you can bring it back and we can talk about that. But her friend's not here. She's not a part of this right now. Good. I hope so.
I do.
And I hope that if you two can stay away from each other and leave each other alone, things will calm down and everybody can live peacefully in their own place.
What's she gonna do about her cats? They're all over. I'm not feeding them, but they're on my deck. They're on the roof. They're on top of the car. And I quit feeding them. I know they want to eat, but I said, no, I'll get in trouble. It doesn't want me to talk. How do you not talk to cats?
Okay. There's nothing in the order that restrains you from talking to cats.
Well, thank you. Because I don't want the cops to have to waste their time to come out and do that, and I don't want to run over the poor Pearl while she's underneath my car. I love them. I love the cats. And I'm not feeding them. I'm trying to get a raccoon to come out underneath the house so we can trap her with the babies and be done with it. And I'm not going to put food out after once I get the raccoons out.
Have you talked with your landlord about the raccoons?
Yeah, we're working on it. He actually had, when the maintenance guy bring a trap, he didn't set the trap up right, but yeah, that's the problem because he never goes back to check on it, and you can't leave a You can't leave,
Raccoons can present issues for humans as well.
huh? Yes, absolutely. Oh, well, that's why we're trapping it. But he brought it out. He didn't set up right, whoever came out, and they didn't even tell me that it was trapping. You can't leave a defenseless animal trapped up in a trap and not and let it starve to death in a trap. So we're working on it. Landlord's in Florida. He'll be back in 2 weeks. We're taking care of it. Because he's doing, it's under there, tearing up the kitchen floor. I don't want my floor tore up.
I don't think your landlord does either.
No, he doesn't. We're working on it.
We'll give you a copy of that order for you to go. Any questions? Again, I'm gonna leave with this, and I hope you take this to heart, Ms. Adams. You're just not to contact Ms. Meyer or her child, communicate with her in any way.
And that goes with them too.
No, it does not.
Oh.
The only person on this order is the
Oh,
petitioner.
They can contact me and bother me.
If they've contacted you, then you can go and get your own order. But right now, the only person who's subject to the order,
Well, I
she's the
may have to
petitioner.
do that.
You can certainly do that.
Certainly do that.
That's it for today, ma'am. Ms. Meyer, a copy of this order will get emailed to you.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
And you're free to go, ma'am.
You think that there's some legal reason, some right you didn't assert or some confusion on your part, you'd have to file a motion with the court within that time frame. Doesn't mean I'd grant it, but you have that time to file it. Okay,
Yes, sir.
all right,
Thank
thank you.
you,
You
sir.
have a great day.
You too. Thank
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Friedman. Jeff Lewis versus Jennifer Loudon.
Morning, Your Honor. I don't think Jennifer Loan has arrived or plans on coming for that matter.
What are we on now?
Subpoena was served.
What is this up for? It's set for creditors, you're saying?
This is debtor's exam, yes.
Oh, that's Miss Lewis. Okay, all right. And she's not appeared. I thought I had issued a default on this. Okay. She's not here. All right. So what I typically do in these cases is that then I will issue an order to show cause. From that order to show cause, then I would issue a bench warrant if she doesn't appear.
Okay, sounds good, Your Honor. I have a question. Can I approach the bench?
Yes, you can. I need a date for an issue to show cause.
Good morning, Your Honor. Parista Gazari appearing for plaintiff.
Derek Davis or Luke Hanna?
Your Honor, we actually resolved the case as to defendant Hannah and dismissed that party only
Yes.
from the case.
Did you see that?
So today we're seeking to proceed as to defendant Davis. I filed a motion for entry of default judgment as to that defendant. Notice of the request for entry of default judgment was served at least 7 days before the requested entry today in accordance with MCR 2.603 B1B. But just so the court is aware, the motion was filed 8 days before today,
Got it.
so that it's clear. But he has not appeared. This case started as a summary proceedings for possession and money. Then defendant subsequently moved out. We amended the complaint to add money damages. There was extensive damage to the property. And here we are.
And you're requesting a judgment in the amount of $8,093.
No, Your Honor, actually, the amount has increased. So the property has not been re-rented. It has been listed, but it has not been re-rented right now. The total amount of damages is $16,111.42. There's court costs of $397.10. The statutory $75 attorney fee for a total of $16,583.52. And that is after application of the security deposit.
That's after the.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Garrett Davis. Hearing no response based upon the motion that has been filed, as well as the indication from council, court will enter a judgment as requested by default.
Thank you, Your Honor. I will submit the judgment electronically.
All right, very good.
Thank you.
That just came in.
Yeah, apparently there's another bankruptcy. That's not this matter. This is up for motion.
This is the one where she removed. BMC Rio versus Nettie Whitlow.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ian Redmond, P70599 on behalf of the plaintiff.
And greetings, Your Honor. Emmett Greenwood on behalf of defendant P56556.
Okay, good morning.
Your Honor,
Yes.
a new bankruptcy was filed yesterday afternoon, so we are not looking forward to doing anything today other than informing you of that bankruptcy.
All right. So what I will do then
Yes.
is I will administratively close the case. And
Uh,
pay the man.
And then if and when this reopens, we will do the same thing that we did a couple weeks ago.
So great, you'll be back, huh? No, go ahead.
Well, no, Your Honor, I'm just, would court entertain my motion to withdraw from this case?
Yes, I mean, if you file an order with the court, I'll sign an order of withdrawal.
Okay.
I
Because it
have
has
no
nothing-
objection at
All right.
all. I would say that since this is administratively closed, depending on what the engagement was, the engagement may be terminated as of right now.
Right, but I think what would happen, well, I don't know, because do we have?
I'll just submit
counsel
order.
listed?
We do have Mr. Greenwood listed.
All right,
I'll submit
so
order.
submit an order to
Okay.
that effect. All right, thank you.
All right, thanks.
Services and Carrie Zane and these roles. That matters.
R&J Group Holdings versus Staffield.
Your Honor, plan's ready. Defendant just advised me she needed to use the restroom and walked out. Wait a minute. Up to the court.
Yeah, I'll wait.
Thank you.
Sycamore Meadows versus Autumn Meadows.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Carrie Green, this is Emily Brewer.
Good morning, Your Honor. Emily Brule, PA 827, defendant.
All right.
Judge, I did give counsel updated ledgers this morning. I got them late yesterday, so I did hand for that and any of the research that we have that they requested.
All right.
So, Your Honor, Ms. Meadows was told by the Sycamore front desk that she should just hold on to her money orders until they got things straightened out. So now that we know that things are on their way to getting straightened out, she just needs to give her money orders for the past couple months, get a fresh ledger, get that ledger to emergency housing fund, and we should be able to get this all resolved.
Okay.
On the pathway to the finish line, Judge.
Halfway to the finish line? Okay. As long as we keep running in that direction, we'll be good.
Judge, agreed. And
Yes.
I apologize to the court. Obviously, it's not me, but I do apologize as I'm standing here representing them. And we all know I don't like being in.
No, I know, and it's a process, right?
For
So you guys need a date out.
I think at least 3 weeks for
That's
everything.
fine. I'm good with that.
Okay.
Will June 10th work?
Works for me, Judge.
All right. So I'll adjourn this to June 10th, 2025 at 9 a.m.
Your Honor.
Then Sycamore Meadows versus Derek Hall.
So Emily Brule for defendant.
And Attorney Carrie Bannon on behalf of plaintiff, Your Honor.
Mr. Hall has moved out. We do, however, have counterclaims, and so we would like that to be transferred to the civil docket. We're also waiting for hopefully a resolution.
Well,
of that.
that'd be transferred to what? The civil docket?
That was my understanding of what would happen.
I don't know how that's the thing. I guess we could bifurcate the possession if he's vacated.
Well, the civil docket would normally be handled by Judge Barr. This is not going anywhere. So if you want to call it the civil docket, call it the civil docket. I don't care. So you still have your counterclaims.
Yes, and our concern is just for protecting defendant's credit, getting that down to a number that he agrees to, and then he will pay.
You send me a
that
number.
I did give, but yeah,
Will you send?
I will send everything.
Okay, send me a number and I'll take it to my client. Judge, hopefully we'll be able to resolve this.
June 10th, 2025, 9 a.m.
Thank you.
I'm seeing a trend.
Just for some.
Just for some, okay. Sycamore Meadows versus Vernon Jantz Jr.
Again, Carrie Bannon on behalf of plaintiff. I'm actually handling your court officer assigned conditional dismissal on this one. It's my understanding Mr. Jantz is going to vacate by June 10th. Both parties have signed that.
That's correct, Joe.
That's correct. Since counsel is on this case is conditionally dismissed. I've signed that. It works. Sycamore Meadows versus Curly Fulton.
Emily Brule for defendant.
Carrie Bannon on behalf of plaintiff.
So for this one, we do have some concerns with the ledger. I did not know that plaintiff was going to have updated ledgers, and so I am not prepared to argue everything. I apologize to the court for that.
Judge, I'm okay with June 10th on this one, if that's okay with you.
So I just want to make sure where we are on it. You got the updated ledgers
Yes.
now, and you think there are some discrepancies.
Yes, I believe there's a 1420 overcharge.
1420, are you saying 1,420, or are you saying $14.20?
1,400.
Okay.
Oh, because if you said 14, I.
Because if it
If
was 1420, Alan would pay it. No.
I would pay it right now.
Okay.
Alan doesn't need to, I.
Oh, okay, all right.
I didn't know Alan provided rental assistance.
No,
Neither
No.
did Alan.
sometimes I just spend his money. It's just the way it works. Okay, so June 10th.
Please.
All right, I'll adjourn this at June 10th, 2025, 9 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you.
All a Felicia. Sycamore Meadows versus Clarissa, is that how I pronounce it? Nichols.
I'm gonna vote for defendant.
Carrie Zan on behalf of plaintiff.
And for this one, now that we have a ledger, we just need some time to get into it.
Okay. June 10th, 2025, 9 a.m.
Thank you.
And then Sycamore Meadows versus Kala P. Kayla P.
Good morning, Carrie Zan on behalf of plaintiff.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jill Bauer on behalf of Ms. P, who is also present.
Ms. P.
All right, where are we on this?
As we have the motions, I believe, up today. I filed a motion for entry of judgment. I know that you've read them.
Yes.
And I know that council filed a response to my motion for entry of judgment. She also filed a motion to dismiss, as I filed a response as well. I know that you've read everything, unless you have any questions. The only thing that I would briefly say is that two things as to the health hazard that they're like, well, Judge, I don't know how you want to do this. I guess I'll stop talking and leave that part to you. And
No,
you know, my motion for entry of judgment is no triable issue. Partly that is, the things I wanted to add is the arguments that they're making in their response and their motion to dismiss are legal arguments. So as to the jury trial, I don't believe that any of this is a jury triable issue. I think this is an issue for you to decide, whether it's in our motions or whether it's at a trial. So I wanted to put that out there first, because I truly believe, going over everything that has been filed, that's where we're at. As to the argument as to the health hazard, they claim that the health hazard was improper and it should have been a different notice. I would argue that where HUD is silent, state law trumps, and that's what this is at this point. And then the only other thing I wanted to add is the health, the 7-day was never cured. They had a chance to cure, and that's why we're standing here, because it wasn't cured. And I think that's all I have to say at this point.
I just want to make sure, I thought we were gonna ask. If we
Oh,
could
do you
go-
want to do that first? Oh, I didn't know.
We talked about asking if you wanted to speak with us in the back to.
And I'm
talk
still
about it
agreeable
more
to-
fully, but.
Sorry,
if
when
just
you,
wanna,
when you said you wanted him to rule on the motions, I figured you wanted that first, but if you wanted to talk first, I'm good with either, Judge.
what would you prefer, Your Honor?
Poor Judge.
I haven't said a word.
You
All
called the
right.
case, Judge.
Yeah, I did. So why don't I do this? Let me pass it. I'll talk to the two of you back and see. if we can-
Thank you.
Let me call this one up. Ms. Bauer could have stopped you at any minute, but she just didn't. And then she goes, but I thought, no, never.
Well, I wasn't sure if you were winding your way.
Winding? Wow.
Oh, is that?
I go straight in.
That's right. That's
No, I
right.
don't mind.
She's winding into that.
Sorry.
All right. Court recalls the case of R&J Group Holdings versus Saffield et al.
Plaintiff is ready, Your Honor.
Counter plaintiff is also ready.
All right. Where are we on this, folks?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
God bless you, Your Honor.
I have trying to figure out exactly where our posture is on this case, because I received 2 emergency ex parte motions. Have you have those, counsel? Pardon?
No, I received one some time ago for an adjournment that's long since come and gone.
No, these were filed yesterday.
I have no such, I haven't been served with anything. I had no idea those were even in existence.
Well, and I'm trying to figure out, why are they ex parte? Why is the request ex parte?
Permission to speak, Your Honor?
Yeah.
Okay, good morning. They are ex parte because the order that Your Honor signed for $5,000 a month bond escrow
We are trying to revise that to $250,000 refinancing proceeds of another property.
This case is this case currently before the circuit court?
It is currently it's been appealed. Your Honor's
Yeah.
judgment has been appealed and we filed a motion to dismiss the appeal. It's still pending, but that's all I can tell you about that, Judge.
So we'll get copies of these to you, but that's what it. I mean, I'm not clear I understand these motions because the first motion is to have a lending institution. You want the bond changed from 5,000 a month, which was the escrow order,
Correct.
to customarily then become your bond on appeal. You want that changed to a $250,000 bond.
Correct. And may I speak the reason?
You can, but I'm not even clear that at this juncture, I would have the jurisdiction to do that. Because I think you would have to request that of the circuit court to change the bond. I've set the bond when the case was before me. It's appealed. That, in my understanding, that's the only thing I can do once the appeal is filed. I can set the bond on appeal.
Likewise,
After that, it's the circuit court. So I don't even know that I can address this. I would also note, counsel, and like I said, we'll get you a copy. There's also this motion to have the R&J Group Holdings pay $250,000
Escrow bond.
for an escrow bond. I don't even know what that, they were the prevailing party, so I'm not even sure how that works. But
yeah, I can't comment on, I haven't seen any.
I know, and that how these got on. I set this for a hearing on the escrow.
That's what I was under the impression was here today.
I didn't know anything about it. They are not on this document.
For the payment out of the escrow? Is that what I set it for? And I'm not gonna, well, the appeal is still pending, correct?
Correct.
The court set the hearing and I called the court.
Yeah,
Said that
I'm
they wanted
not
us to come.
sure
So
why did I do that?
When is the hearing?
I must have been under some determination that something had happened with the appeal, but you're telling me it did not.
no, the appeal is pending in the circuit court on this matter.
Okay, then I can't do anything with escrow, so,
May I ask you a question, Your Honor?
sure.
Okay, Mr. Momina's client has made several threats out loud, even in the hallways of this court,
So, ma'am,
to burn the house down. Does the court have authority to issue a PPO against him? I am protecting 4 underage children, my mother on the wheelchair. I don't want him to burn the house because we have a pending case. It's totally out of order.
Your Honor, that's preposterous.
No, it's not.
It's
You even
absolute-
heard.
I didn't hear anything like that. I
Oh,
don't,
yes,
I've heard,
well, a lot
I've
of
seen a
people
lot
did.
of things in this case I've never seen before, including ex parte motions seeking a $250,000 bond. That's
Yeah,
That's
it's a breach of
preposterous.
contract, sir. This is a breach of contract case and a jury demand.
everybody done? No, I can't deal with anything. I have no jurisdiction. The jurisdiction at this point of this case rests with the circuit court.
Yes,
So
thank
Are
you.
you denying the ex parte motion?
I am,
Or refer.
yes, I'm denying them because they are improperly filed before me. Because I can't do that. You'd have to file those with the
Yes,
circuit.
do that, Your Honor.
All right.
Thank
So,
you.
all right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Here, this is, so that no, that goes with it, trust me. Then court is standing recess and give me about 5 minutes and then council come back.
Your Honor, I just want to make it clear, Mr. Campbell and Ms. Brule would like to join us in the back. Is that okay?
Campbell, yes, her, no. No, I'm kidding.
Just have a seat.
Did you wish to have an attorney represent you, or did you wish to represent yourself and speak with the state and see what y'all could work out?
I could speak for myself and work with the state.
Okay, so what I'm gonna ask you to do is, I'm gonna set up a breakout room. Miss Ponder, is this you or Mr. Tipton? This is
It's my
Mr.
case, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'm gonna put you and Mr. Williams in a breakout room. All right, I'll put you in breakout room number 2. All right, and when you all have an announcement, let me know. All right, Mr. Lynch, Miss Ponders are gonna be in the breakout room on one of the cases. Mr. Tipton is available and Miss Bermudez is in the courtroom. So is there anything you need from me? You're muted.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
I do have a negotiated plea for Mr. Hall on the OTB arraignment calendar.
Yes. All right, Mr. Hall. And that's Mr. Tipton's case, is that correct?
Yes, I think so.
All right.
Yes.
Mr. Hall, may I see you, please, so we can go ahead and get your case taken care of?
Yes, ma'am.
No problem. All right, so Mr. Hall, ooh,
I'm sorry.
that's okay. The light started flickering and I'm going,
Oh,
ooh.
my bad. I had to clean off the screen. It was kind of blurry.
I got you. Raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
I do.
All right, you can put your hand down. So you're represented by Lister Holton Dennis. Mr. Lynch is your attorney. Mr. Lynch, this is case 2022 CR 01459. What does Mr. Tyler Hall plead to the offense of improper lane change?
Nolo contender.
All right, by entering a plea of nolo, sir, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, factual basis, recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, on October 31st of 2021, officers with the Clayton County Police Department, while on general patrol, did observe the defendant before you, Mr. Tyler Hall, failed to make a lane change in a manner that was reasonably safe and reasonably safe as practicable while traveling down Riverdale Road near Garden Walk Boulevard. The state's recommendation is a $100 fine.
All right. Mr. Lynch, anything on behalf of Mr. Hall?
Yes, Judge. Mr. Hall is in between jobs right now, and he's requesting if he could have 60 days to get that fine paid in full.
No problem. So, Mr. Hall, I'm going to accept your plea of nolo. I'll sentence you to pay a fine in the amount of $100, $151.50 with the surcharges. And, sir, I'll give you 60 days in which to pay. This is what I ask you. Do you know how to use the chat function?
On here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So go to the chat function, whatever name is in blue, click on that. And then you're looking for Amanda Wright, R-Y-T-E. Wait, is that who my clerk is today?
No, it's Sierra Willis today.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
Yeah, I was looking. I knew it. I knew I didn't see the little colors from this. Okay, you're looking for Sierra Willis, Sierra Willis. You're going to send
ma'am.
her your email address. Please make sure you check it to make sure all the letters and numbers are in the right place. And when you send that to Ms. Willis, she's going to send you back your sentencing sheet. It's going to have the exact date by which you should pay. It's going to have information about how to pay online or by phone. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Hall, go ahead and make sure you get that paid by the deadline. Otherwise, be safe, sir.
Yes, ma'am. You as well.
All right, and I wish you well on the job hunt. What you looking for?
I was working manufacturing, but I'm really looking for someone like warehouse or anything that's really opportune.
There's a here in Jonesboro, off of right at Main Street and Noah's Ark. There's a cement manufacturing company, and they always have signs out for people.
Yeah, like I don't even stay in the Clayton County district. My mother
Okay.
stays out there. I just went out
Okay.
there to go,
So you were just here
during Halloween.
by accident.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, I just know that I pass there sometimes and I see signs, but I
Okay.
wish you well on your job hunt, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care. And you'll get the check your email either tomorrow. Probably tomorrow's a good time to check your email and you'll get your sentencing sheet.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Take care. All right. Do we have any other announcements at this time? Ms. Ponder, Mr. Williams?
Yes, Your Honor. It's my understanding that Mr. Williams would like to accept the state's offer. Your Honor, the state, he is pleading to count 1 speeding, a $100 fine. The state is moving to dismiss count 2, no insurance. And I will also send over his email address, and I believe to Ms. Hall. Is that correct?
To Ms. Willis.
Ms. Willis.
Sierra Willis.
Yes, I see it.
Is he entering a plea of nolo or guilty?
Your Honor, it appears that the speed is
Oh, it's not
79.
reportable. Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Williams, just so you know, there's you're below the speed at which it will be reported for points. So if you want to use a guilty plea and save your nolo for another time, you can do that.
Okay.
All right, raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down, sir. Are you over the age of 21?
Yes.
And you're representing yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You're before the court on 2022 CR 01469 for speeding 11 to 15 over and no insurance. You're entering a plea of guilty to count 1. Count 2 will be no pros. By entering this plea, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony or evidence on your behalf to not incriminate yourself. And if you are not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, I do understand, Your Honor.
All right, factual basis recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On April the 10th, 2022, officers conducted a traffic stop on 285 and Riverdale Road, located here in Clayton County, Georgia. Officers detected a vehicle traveling on a LiDAR, traveling 88 miles per hour in a 65 miles per hour zone. However, officers issued a citation for 79 miles per hour in a 65 miles per hour zone. The state's recommendation, as indicated for count 1, is a $100 fine. Count 2, the state is moving to no process.
All right, so Mr. Williams, do you wish, because you're not at the courthouse, I'll give you an automatic 30 days. Did you need more than that to pay?
That'd be perfect. That'd be just enough time. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so what's gonna happen is Ms. Ponder's gonna send over your email address. You'll get an email from the clerk of state court, and it will be instructions about how to pay. You can always pay in person at 9151 Terra Boulevard. You can pay online or by phone, okay?
Okay, yes, ma'am.
All right, so thank you, sir. Take care and be safe.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I sent over Mr. Williams' email address to Ms. Willis.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Mr.
you,
Williams, you're free to go at this time.
Ms. Ponder, just to confirm, that's ymail.com.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
All right. Mr. Owens. All right, where's Mr. Owens? Let's leave that stuff. All right, let's call City of Detroit versus Herbert Owens, case number SP 1669021. I don't know what happened to all these other cases, if these were fled to or not. We couldn't find the file.
I caught on there, I doubt it, I don't know where it's at now. I caught on there, Judge Holmes told me. See,
You can see because I don't, this other stuff seems like it should have been disposed of. Let's see if we can find it. Okay, hold on, Mr. Owens.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you know, something just it's painful for me to, you know, and especially when you come in here and you're saying I'm a 71-year-old man, I'm not 21, but you're still doing 21-year-old stuff.
Well, I made a bad choice, Judge, and I own
I
up
mean,
to that.
that's what 21-year-olds do.
You're right. You're right.
61.
You're right. You're right, Your Honor.
Let's go back on the record with Ms. O'Neill. Ms. O'Neill, I've given you an opportunity to speak to counsel, what your client want to do.
Your Honor, we are respectfully a pretrial date.
Pretrial June the 16th, 2025. Let me see. Have you missed court dates, ma'am? In a payment plan for she's in a payment plan for those other tickets, the expired plate. She's got a payment plan for, and the 1 to 5 and the defective equipment. I'll give you the pretrial. You're in a payment plan. All right. So you've done something. Don't miss any court dates, please, Miss O'Neill. Because obviously you've had to miss some court dates because you got it, you knew well enough, I believe, to get into a payment plan because you were here. Come back June 16th, ma'am, 2025 at 8:30, all right? If you don't have any further questions, you're free to leave. All right, what's the man since we're in the clerk's office? She can't bring. All right. City of Detroit versus Chillis Lambert, case number SP 1014070, counts 1, 2, and 3. SP 1388841, counts 1 and counts 2. SP 1410947, count 1. SP 1410943, and U6623523. Appearance for the record, please.
Sherika Harris, on behalf of Mr. Lambert, please state your name for the record. You have to unmute your device.
All right, Mr. Lambert. Today is the date and time set for a trial. Is there an officer, Kimberly Wright here? Officer Bush, good morning to you. Are you there still?
Yeah, good morning. I'm here.
Can you state your name, badge number for the record, please?
Yes. Officer Bush, badge 4781, Detroit Police Department.
Good morning to you. What about Officer Nistar? Nistar. Is there an officer Nistar here? And is there an officer Thomas, Marquise Thomas?
With regard to the matters where the complaining witnesses did not respond, defense will move to dismiss.
All right, and hearing no response and have not heard any of those officers respond, and then I have them on my list. I'm going to grant the motion to dismiss on those matters. Get Mr. Lambert an updated offer. Keep in mind, if you don't like the offer, you have an absolute right to a trial, okay? Pass the matter. Give me 1 second, Mr. Gary. let's go back on the record with Mr. Garcia. Mr. Garcia, I've given you an opportunity to speak to counsel. Counsel, what your client want to do?
Your Honor, my client would avail himself of the people's current offer, which is to enter a plea to failure to display for the state ticket. The remaining matters to be dismissed.
Is that what you want to do, Mr. Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Jamal said the second, June 2nd at 8:25 for review. That's what she told me to do. I haven't needed yet. I was about to do it.
Maybe you need to go to jail, Mr. Garcia, to get your act together.
Because I was just about to do it. Okay. But yes,
You're supposed to be going with your dad to get in some plumbing thing, weren't you?
I'm currently doing landscaping right now, but I am working on my GED and doing my schoolwork.
What happened with your dad's thing? Isn't your dad a plumber?
No, my dad's not a plumber.
What trade does your dad do?
My dad's like a manager at the construction site.
Weren't you supposed to be getting a job with him?
He got me in there. I was doing like a painting for the contractors there, but
Messed that up, huh?
no, I just wanted to move to landscaping.
You probably messed it up. All right, raise your right hand, sir. You swear or affirm, tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can put your hand down. Do you understand the maximum possible penalty for this offense is 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that you have an absolute right to a trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Berry went over your other advice or rights in the breakout room, did he not?
Yes, he did.
You understood those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any questions about those rights?
No questions.
Do you know by taking this deal, you're gonna give those rights up?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anybody offered you anything other than what's been stated in the record?
No, Your Honor.
Let me draw your attention back to December the 22nd, 2024, around 5:50 p.m. in the city of Detroit, excuse me, in the area of I-75 in Springwell. Did you have an occasion on that day to come encounter with the Detroit Police Department?
Yes.
Well, no, Michigan State Police. Did you have an occasion on that day to come encounter with Michigan State Police?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're operating a motor vehicle?
Yes, Your Honor.
Officer asked you to produce a valid driver's license?
Yeah, I couldn't provide one.
And why is that?
My license is currently revoked.
Find your client guilty of the amended count of failure to display. $240 will be a fine. When can you pay?
My next paycheck is next week. I can pay it then.
Pay it by the 23rd of May, 2025. Pay it at any Deb that kiosk in the city of Detroit, or come on down to the courthouse and pay it in person. Those are the two best ways I can tell you to pay it. There's nothing further. Have a very good day. Best of luck to you.
You too, Your Honor. Have a good day.
All right, let's call the city of Detroit versus Nolan Lee. Case number SU 50303-819 and State of Michigan versus Nolan Lee. Case number SX 35598301. Appearance for the record, please.
Elwood S. Berry Jr. on behalf of the defendant. State your full name, Mr. Lee.
Yes, Your Honor, that's Nolan Lee.
Start your camera, sir, please. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
All right, good morning. Today is the date and time set for a just show cause, Mr. Berry?
Yes, Your Honor. For purposes of arraignment, my client would stand muted.
Enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. Give your client a $0 bond. Mr. Lee, Mr. Berry's going to get you an updated offer. Keep in mind, if you don't like the offer, you have an absolute right to a trial. Join the breakout room conversation with him. Let us know what you want to do when you come out, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mrs. Garrett, you're back. You have connected your audio. All right, I have the file for Owens now. Let's recall Hubert Owens, case number SP 166902111. So state your name for the record, Mr. Owens.
Hubert M. Owens.
All right. So as charged, you pled to the refusal of the PBT. You pled as charged to the wrong way driving. Defective brake lights were dismissed. You pled as you pled to, it says, it's supposed to be open alcohol in a motor vehicle passenger. I put as charged. I'm going to change that. So I'm going to go ahead and fine you $240 for that.
That's Officer Lee. He said he had to go to another courtroom to get back.
For Lieber, I was in another courtroom, just got out downstairs.
Oh, Lieber never showed.
Even better. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Be safe. You too. When you pled to the, let me make sure I got this right. Hold on, as charged. All right, so 240 is going to be the fine for the open alcohol of a motor vehicle passenger. And 155 is going to be the fine for the refusal for the PBT. And I will no fine you for the wrong way drive. 240, 155. When can you pay it?
I can pay it at the end of the month, or can I get on a payment plan for that, Judge, or I can pay a little bit at the end of the month, end of June. So I'm looking at $395. Am I correct?
No, you're looking at more than that because you had stuff that you never paid years ago.
Oh, okay. The 588.
Well, it'll all be added up when we get this right here. So I'm going to say SP 166902001 as charged. 05. And then SP 1669021 240. It's open alcohol and motor vehicle passenger. SP 1669021 155. And then the rest of the stuff is in there. So you owe $1490 minus 130 plus 155 plus 240. So you owe over $1,500. I'm gonna put a pay by date for 30 days, June 20th, 2025, and I'm gonna mark the file allow payment plan. So either pay it or come on down to the courthouse and get into a payment plan. If you want to pay it online on the kiosk, you can pay it at any DivDack kiosk in the city of Detroit. I'm told you can upload to DivDack after your phone. We'll be praying for your continued health I'm sure you're gonna be here in August, and get into that payment plan, start getting stuff put behind you.
Thank you,
All right, best of luck to you.
thank you, Judge Perkins. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
All right, let's go back on the record with Mr. Lambert. Mr. Lambert, I've given you an opportunity to speak to counsel. Counsel, what's your client want to do?
Your Honor, I did have an opportunity to speak with the city attorney. They are requesting an opportunity for Mr. Lambert to come back with a valid license, which according to have by next Friday, if he's able to come back.
The city attorney's requesting that, or you're requesting that?
I think it's both of us requesting it because she made that request as well. Based on the conversations that we had in my discussions with her, she would like
This
him
is
to be able to come back.
This is another young man. We set these matters last year, and now they're just being adjudicated. He had a trial date 6/7/2024.
To his credit, Your Honor, he's taken care of a lot of things that will put him in position to get his valid license, but he was advised he needed to wait, I think 3 business days before he could come back to get his license. And he's asking if his court date could be next Friday versus this Friday.
Where did you get the information of 3 business days that you can get a license?
From the last attorney I talked to, last time I came to court.
Not run his license. Let's pass the matter. Is Gavin Alexander. City of Detroit versus Gavin Christian Alexander, case number SP 170040051. Appearance for the record, please, Ms. Harris.
Erica Harris on behalf of Mr. Gapin, please state your name for the record, or Gapin.
Alexander Gapin.
All right. Day is reported to you. The day is the date and time set for a show cause for purposes of arraignment, counselor.
Client stands mute.
Whether or not guilty plea on your client's behalf, we're going to give your client a $0 bond. Mr. Gapin, do you have a valid, well, he paid 2 related civil fractures. Do you have a valid driver's license?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Run his license, please. All right.
Could we run the license of Nolan Lee?
Nolan Lee as well. So let's pass the matter. Let's go back on the record with Lambert. Mr. Lambert, you indicated to the court that somebody told you you can get a license in 3 days, right?
Yes, after I pay East Point off.
And you haven't paid East Point, have you?
I have. I just paid them off Thursday.
Well, it doesn't have anything in the system, you need to go back to East Point.
Yeah, I got another court date on the 28th. It's paid off. I got to still show up to court because I was out on a bond. Because when the attorney told me I need to go take care of it, I left work early that day and went up to East Point on that Thursday and gave him 500, and I just paid him off. I just paid the rest of the money Thursday.
A bond. You have a bond in East Point.
No, they switched it over to on my ticket. I got the paper. It just I'm not at home. My sister's house is at my house. It's paid.
So on that no insurance.
You say what's up?
On the no insurance in East Point, that's what's suspending you.
Yeah, no, it's paid. You'll see when I go to court on the 28th, I guess it'll be off then. Cause it's paid, sir.
Then he's got this down here at the 36th District Court that's improper passing is suspending him as well.
I was told after I take care of East Point, I can get some license.
Who told you that?
The attorney last time I came here.
You have never gone to the Secretary of State since you've been here the last time?
No, just the East Point.
And you're asking for another day. All right, we're gonna do this one last time. Pre-trial on May the 30th, 2025. That'll give him a chance to go to East Point. You need to go to the side, go to the Secretary of State first and make sure you got everything before you come back here. Come back on May the 30th, 2025 at 8:30. All right.
Okay.
Best of luck to you.
All right, George. Thanks.
Is Justin Lewis here?
Yes, Your Honor.
Morning to you.
Good morning.
Good afternoon. City of Detroit versus Justin Gasson Lewis, case number SP 1610014, counts 1, 2, and 3, SP 161000901. SP 1682025, counts 1, 2, SP 1682026, SP 1684545, counts 1, SP 1684546, counts 1, 2, and 3, SP 1684547, counts 1 and counts 2. Here for the record, please.
Sherika Harris, on behalf of Mr. Lewis, please state your name.
Justin Lewis.
Okay, Mr. Lewis, today is the date and time set for a trial. Any corporate good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. Can you put your appearance on for Lewis? Corporate, unmute yourself. Can you put your appearance in?
I'm sorry, Corporal Croping, badge 775, City Detroit Police Officer.
Corporal Bennett was here, but he's not here now. And I don't see a note. All right. Is there anybody else here for Officer Wheatley? Good morning to you. Can you put your appearance, Lieutenant Wheatley? I'm sorry. Can you put your appearance on the record for Justin Lewis?
Lieutenant Tyron Wheatley, badge L146.
All right. Anyone else for Lewis?
Your Honor, I didn't see Officer Bennett was listed as one of the officers.
Okay, that's reliever, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. Sergeant Joseph Easton, badge number S668, Detroit Police for Justin Lewis.
Sergeant, good morning to you.
Thank you.
And anyone else for Lewis? All those officers are here on time. Miss Harris, give Mr. Lewis an updated, give Mr. Lewis an updated offer. Keep in mind, Mr. Lewis, if you don't like the offer, you have an absolute right to a trial. I'm gonna put you in a breakout room with Miss Harris, and let us know what you want to do when you come out, okay?
Okay.
Join the room, please. Give me a minute, Mr. Berry. Let's go back on the record with Mr. Nolan, Mr. Lee, Nolan Lee. Mr. Berry, what does Mr. Lee want to do?
Your Honor, my client would avail himself of the current offer to enter a plea to the people mover violation. Has the court confirmed that we have a valid license?
That's a 2000, yeah, he has a valid license. That's a 2019 case, people mover.
A lot of years.
It says, on.
I'd like to speak with my client.
All right, join the breakout room. We're gonna pass the matter. Rejoin the room, Mr. Lewis, Mr. Lee.
Yes, Your Honor.
I have the ticket here, Mr. Berry, just off the record, the ticket says of the comments, it was unauthorized. He was a Lawrence Tech student ID, unauthorized access to Detroit People Mover, and on Detroit People Mover Guideway at Joe Louis Arena Station. So that's all the notes say.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Rejoin. Did we get, we're waiting on a, let's get, you need to go. We're waiting on an attorney for Mr. Ryan. I contacted this Judge Carter, and I haven't heard a response back. That's the only other file. All right. Give me 1 minute, Mr. Gaffney. I'm gonna get you out of here in a second. Give me 1 minute. Court reporter need to take a break. Right. Telephone, sir? You brought your phone with you? Yes. What is this? What is- Yes. Well, that, you want to. Yes. Okay.
So that's Friday the 9th.
I believe so, Judge.
May 9th?
I believe that's what, oh, sorry, not the 9th. 16th, Judge.
All right, so here's the thing. I don't allow people to do this thing where they wait till the last minute to hire an attorney so they can get a continuance and their attorney is entitled to 10 days. Do you understand? So I'm giving him exactly 10 days. So you're coming back on the 27th and you're going to jury trial. My understanding, State, is this offer still on the table or no? All right, so today is your plea deadline date. So either you all reach an agreement or you have not reached an agreement. If you're not reaching an agreement today, then the court will not consider any plea bargain agreements without good cause. Otherwise, you're going to have to plead open to the court. So you're coming back for jury trial on May 27th.
Thank you, Judge.
Anything else?
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, they're on the docket for jury trial, May 27th, and they're number one.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Who's here on Ramon, Ernest Ramon? All right, if you come forward. Ramon. Ramon. Ramon, this way. Are y'all ready to proceed on the motion to revoke?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, court is calling 2023 CR 4166 State versus Ernest Ramon. Can I have the parties announced for the record?
Ashley Jones for the state.
Michael Dwight going to the defense, Your Honor.
And are you Ernest Ramon?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Are you the same Ernest Lopez Ramon Jr. who was placed on community supervision in 2023 CR 4166 for the offense of assault bodily injury, married on January 17, 2024 for a period of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, State.
Yes, Your Honor, we are going to proceed on violation of condition number 24. On or about the 8th day of May 2024 in Bear County, Texas, the defendant Ernest Lopez Vermon Jr. did then and there fail to attend TAP assessment appointment as directed by the head of or authorized personnel of that agency in violation of condition number 24.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State.
We will waive the remaining violations, Your Honor.
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 24, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you to 1 year in the Bear County Jail?
Yes.
Knowing that you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 24.
Yes.
All right, is there, the court will find violation of condition 24 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor.
Yes.
That agreement is for 9 months in the Bear County Jail. This was reduced from a third-degree felony to a misdemeanor.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, what has he done on probation?
Nothing, Your Honor. Let me. Yeah. He has not done the BIP. He didn't do the TAP. And trying to find the fees. Well, it looks like he may have paid a little bit, but is still outstanding in the fees.
All right, why didn't you do anything? You want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Ernest Ramon.
Yes. Why didn't you do anything on probation?
At the time, I just I had an addiction problem. I got that that was the main thing. I have an addiction last year to methamphetamines, and this year that's when I went out and reached for help. I completed a program for San Antonio Recovery Center. I was there for a whole month, but that's the main reason. I'm homeless. I just lost I lost my mom in COVID. I lost my mom and my sister to COVID. So I was dealing with my depression and some mental issues. Trying to get help for that. That's all I can really say.
All right. All right, the court is finding violation of condition number 24 true. The court will sentence you to 1 year in the Bear County Jail, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of family violence and there should be no contact with the complainant. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
All right. This is not a plea bargain agreement. You have a limited right to appeal, and that right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you're on a community supervision. You understand?
Sure.
And because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, sure.
All right, we can go off the record. When you're released from custody, if you can't find a place to go to help you with your addictions, if I'm still here, come back here and I will pick up the phone, call a place to help you, okay? All right, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Yes, you're welcome. Who's here on Jose Caceres? Are you all ready to proceed on the motion? All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 0057 State versus Jose Caceres. Can I have parties announced?
So,
Ashley Jones for the state.
France party for the defendant.
And are you Mr. Caceres?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yeah.
Are you the same Jose Angel Caceres Jr. who was placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 0057 for the offense of injury to the elderly bodily injury on March 28, 2024 for a term of 6 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
State will proceed on violation of condition number four in Bear County, Texas. The defendant Jose Angel Casares Jr. did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of November and December 2024 in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
It is true.
And the state will waive the remaining violations, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objection, Judge.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 6 years in the prison? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4? It's the not reporting for November and December. Do you understand? Well, do you understand that they're saying that you didn't report?
I didn't report because I got confused where was that and stuff.
No. My question is, you pled true to number 4.
Okay.
Do you understand that you pled true to number 4? All right, so in violation of condition number 4, they're saying that you didn't report for November 2024. Did you report for November 2024? Did you report for December 2024? All right, so because you're saying you didn't report for those days, I can send you to prison, and I can send you to prison up to 6 years. Do you understand that? All right, so do you still want to say that you didn't report for November and December?
I try to report.
No. You're giving me a reason for not reporting. Do you understand that I can send you to prison for not reporting? No, do you understand? You don't understand?
I'm sorry.
All right, so this is what I want you to do. Take a deep breath. Relax, take another deep breath. Relax. All right, so do you have an agreement with the state?
We do, Your Honor.
All right, so even though you have an agreement with the state, I don't have to follow that agreement. Do you understand? You need to speak up.
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
it's either yes or no. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, so because you didn't report for November and December, I could send you to prison. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you still want to go forward knowing that I don't have to follow an agreement that you've reached. Do you still want to go forward? All right, then. I'm going to have you step back.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Richard Ibanez. Who's the attorney? Oh, hi.
Know that the court placed me today on Mr. Ibanez's matter.
Yes.
As the other attorney unavailable. I've got his contact information. He has mine, just requesting a little bit of time to look into the discovery to confer with the state. I'm regarding.
All right, and was the state able to tender an offer or no?
No, Judge, I haven't been able to speak with them yet. I've had some other matters, but I was just requesting to look into the reports, the videos, and then that way I can have a meeting of the minds next time to see about a potential offer. I need to get my bearings as to the facts.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 30-day reset for discovery on Ibanez.
That'll work, yes.
All right, we'll see you back on June 17th.
After doing the reset form, my client be excused, Your Honor?
Yes.
We're gonna go inside the reset form.
Hello. Counsel, are you ready?
I think so, Judge.
All right, have him come forward.
Wow, she has to hear what you say. Okay. Say everything out loud. Okay.
Just give me 1 second, counsel.
There's no reason. Don't.
All right, we're back on the record in 2022 CR 0057. So, Mr. Casares, did you have a chance to speak with your attorney? Do you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true and send you to prison for up to 6 years? Did you understand?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's either yes or no. Yes? All right, the court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. That proposed agreement is to follow the recommendation given by probation, which is to have the probationer complete the TCOOMMI/CHCS evaluation that is set for July 24th of 2025 in custody for possible DDRF placement followed by MIC.
That is our agreement, Judge.
All right, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes.
All right, the court will find violation of condition number 4 true. The court will deny the motion, alter and amend the conditions to include a Takami evaluation. And the defendant is to remain in custody until the evaluation is completed. Yes. All right, is there anything else you need from me, sir?
No. Thank you, Miss.
All right, you're welcome. So here's the thing, we can go off the record. You're gonna have to make sure, I understand there are mental health issues going on, but you're gonna have to make sure that you report to your probation officer. And if you're confused about if you have a date, let probation officer know. If they're not responding, you can come back to court, okay?
Cause I was looking for Hazel's home, but there was more than one place for the homeless, and I got confused. There was like 4 different places and stuff like that.
Okay, all right, that's when you pick up the phone and you call your probation officer and let them know, okay?
Okay, so I did that, and the free clinic, I couldn't find the free clinic either for medication and stuff like that.
Okay,
So yeah, everybody, I'll ask and I'll ask around.
all righty. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Judge.
Judge.
May I be-
Yes,
Judge Nassar,
yes,
Mario Alberto Tovar,
yes.
on discovery order. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Christopher Guerrero. Who's the attorney on Christopher Guerrero? All right, if you'll have a seat, we're waiting for your attorney.
Have a seat, sir.
Okay. Garcia. All right, Deputy Laura,
She's back here, Judge.
that's going to be recalled. Norma, on this case, recall it for the 27th. And Norma, Damian Trevino, the 27th as well. Okay. David Brown. And then after Brown, it will be Washington. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We're here on a motion to set bond.
All right, have you spoken with the state?
This one. Have the notes here. I'm asking of the bond to be reinstated. Mr. Brown missed his court date. My understanding, due to, mistake of not of his own.
Well, in order for the court to reinstate the bond, you'll have to call the bondsman and see if the bondsman wants to be back on his bond. Because was he on a commercial bond?
Yes.
All right, so if you want to call the bondsman and see if the bondsman wants to be back on his bond, the court will reconsider.
Because when I told him about the court date,
It was their mistake, Your Honor.
All right, so if you call the bondsman and see if the bondsman wants to be back on his bond. All right, thank you. All right, so if he has a warrant, why, and has no bond, why is he? All right. Thank you. All right, Patrick Washington.
Okay.
Mr. Watson, come on up. There's a trial date as soon as possible.
All right, he was supposed to be set for trial for today.
Yeah, and that is a fact. And so we need to be, as soon as we have another opening.
All right, why isn't he dressed for trial though?
That's a great question. Everybody else came over dressed. I'm not sure. You have clothes over there, Mr. Washington?
Yes, I do. Is y'all ready for trial today? I'm ready.
Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I don't know about this trial that's coming up, whether or not it's going to finish soon or not, or, so what I will do is, I'm gonna have you recalled for tomorrow, and we'll have him brought over dressed. Now, Mr. Washington, if this trial actually goes, then I won't be able to try your case, okay?
Well, yeah, in any way possible. I'm willing to go with prosecutor deal, but I want to get out today instead of in 1.5 that they
All
want
right,
me
so
to do.
here's the thing. I don't like for people, I'm hoping people are not taking agreements just so they can be released from custody.
No, it ain't here. What they're doing is trying to save the state a little time and save.
Oh, no, here's the thing. Let me just tell you, don't ever try to save the state time to your detriment. Don't do that.
Yes,
So what I can tell you is I will have you brought over dressed for tomorrow. If you decide to enter an agreement with the state or something of that nature tomorrow, then I'll keep the plea deadline date open. Or if you want a bench trial, I'll do a bench
I
trial.
want.
Just listen to, just
Yeah.
hear the judge out.
So here's the thing, with bench trials, what ends up happening is a jury doesn't hear the evidence. So it won't be 12 people. I would just hear the evidence. And I would make a decision on whether you're guilty or not guilty based upon the evidence that I hear. What I can tell you is, if the state proves their case beyond a reasonable doubt, I'm going to find you guilty. If they don't prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt, I'm going to find you not guilty. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So that'll be something for you to think
I
about.
want to stay on the jury's trial.
Okay. All right, and so here's the other thing, Mr. Washington. Let me explain to you about things that happen at the Bexar County Jail. Sometimes we have people who refuse to come over. And so the deputies have a lot of people to bring over, so they don't bring them over. Then they come to me and they say that person refused. Then I sign an order saying, hey, no, they need to bring them over here. It's the same thing about people being dressed for trial. When I tell people you have a jury trial date, and I tell the deputy, let them know that the inmates need to be dressed for trial. Well, if you tell a deputy over at the jail, I'm not dressing for trial, they're not going to talk to you and try to force you to put on clothes. The only way you'll have clothes if I send an order and say, hey, they need to be dressed for trial. So the reason why you're not dressed for trial today and everybody else is dressed for trial is because the people at the jail told me that you refuse to be dressed. So
Right, because what do it make a difference of whether you're innocent or guilty with clothes?
you know what? I would tell you this. I had a client once and he was a young client. And I told him, hey, look, I'm going to get you some clothes. I want you to be dressed nice. And he said, I'm not trying to impress anybody. And I told him, it would be different if everybody on that jury were your friend and they knew you. Usually people who are on the jury, they don't know you. And it's like when you get a book. When you look at a book, sometimes you'll look at a book and you say, I don't want to read that book because I don't like the way the cover looks. So you want people to look at you, to be interested in seeing what's going on with you. If you come over from the jail dressed in that uniform with those flip-flops and with handcuffs, a jury, hopefully they will be nice and they will say, you know what, we're going to listen to the evidence. But maybe in the back of their mind, they may be saying, yeah, he did something wrong because look at him. He's dressed in a uniform from the jail. So they're going to know you're in custody. And they're going to say, look at him in chains. He's dressed in chains. So that means maybe he's dangerous and we should be afraid. And they may not even listen to the facts. Do you understand? So when you're asked to be brought over dressed for trial, that's to help you out, okay? So don't tell the deputies you don't want to be dressed. Now, see, then your attorney was thinking, why are you not dressed for trial? And you didn't let your attorney know the reason why you're not dressed is because you refused it.
Well, I don't see it that way. I see it in a way of if you're innocent or guilty, that's what the court should base everything on.
I mean, that's
Not
true.
the clothes you wear.
But let me just tell you this, you know what the problem is? There are not going to be attorney, who knows, maybe there'll be an attorney on your jury, but there's not going to be any defense attorney. So it's just going to be regular people. And you know what? Usually it's regular people who have never been in trouble and they don't understand about people being in trouble. So you're gonna have to make sure that when they ask you to get dressed, that you're dressed, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Will you do that for me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and then the other thing, if you'll talk to your attorney and make a decision, if you want a jury trial or a bench trial. Okay,
He just said he wanted
But
to.
we'll talk a little bit more after.
all right, so your attorney is here, so you all need to talk about that today, okay?
Is he coming back tomorrow?
He's coming back tomorrow, yes.
Okay.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Where should he sit, Deputy?
Oh, just in the box. He can sit there.
Have a seat. Have a seat right there.
Christopher Guerrero. Oh, good morning. So where are we on discovery?
Judge, we executed a discovery acknowledgement already. We just need a plea deadline date.
All right. And you received an.
I didn't see it on the docket, Judge.
Yeah, that's why I'm looking.
He wasn't, he didn't print out on the docket, Judge. That's what
Okay.
Norma tells me.
All right, so. And thanks for showing up. You know, anybody, well, some people would say like, my name not have been called, let me tip out of here. So I appreciate you not tipping out. All right, so what we're gonna do is, counsel, are you available June 24th?
I believe so, Judge. Let me just check. Yes, I'm available, Judge.
All right, so your plea deadline date is gonna be June 24th. On that date, you need to let the court know whether or not you've reached an agreement with the state. If you have not, your next court date is gonna be a jury trial setting. All right, thank you. Who is here on Claudel Corney? All right, are y'all ready on this motion to revoke?
We are, Your Honor. We need a contested hearing.
All right. How much time do y'all need for the contested?
Whatever you say.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 2-week reset for a contested hearing. All right, we'll come back on June 2nd, and that will be a contested hearing. Oh, good morning. All right, yes.
I just wanted to state for the record that I've been doing good on probation.
Okay, let me just tell you, that's something that you'll need to address at the contested hearing, okay? And then your attorney can present whatever evidence he wants me to hear, and I'll hear it, all right?
Yes, my boy.
All right,
June 2nd.
yes. That'll be in 2 weeks, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All
Thank
right,
you.
you're welcome.
Washington, Carney, come on.
He's right here. Yeah.
So just tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Washington. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
All right, Ross, they're trying to get your client to come over, so you'll need to come back in the afternoon.
Yes, Judge, I was informed that she refused to come again, so.
Yeah, so we've ordered her to come over, so they'll be bringing her over.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
So 1:30, Your Honor?
yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right,
Excuse,
thank you.
Judge.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you for your patience.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Just let you know where we're at. I think I'm gonna do a plea on Emilio Lopez, but we're still finalizing
Okay.
stuff, but.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Am I? Excuse me. Xavier Slingerland. All right, so on this case, where are we on discovery?
Discovery seems to be intact. We don't have discovery concerns regarding this case at this time, Judge. We were extended an offer by the state today. My client wants a little bit of time to think about it. We're requesting it be set for a plea bargain deadline, please.
All right, how old are you, sir?
34.
All right. Counsel, are you available May 22nd,
22nd.
Thursday?
This Thursday.
Mhm.
We're hoping for a little bit more time.
29th?
We do a couple weeks, 2 weeks, the 29th. Is the first week of June available by chance?
All right, I can set you for June 5th.
Yes, Your Honor, that'd be perfect.
All right, Norma, on this case, plea deadline date, June 5th. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Audio fixed.
Ah, okay.
It's just really touchy, like if I move it just a little bit, it won't work.
Ah,
And I knew, I had a feeling that's what it was. I've been messing with it all morning.
Adolph Mendoza. All right, so where are we on the discovery?
Discovery looks good, Judge. We did receive an offer today from the states. And my client, again, needs some time to process, think about it. So however the court would like to proceed in terms of the time for allow him to do that. And I guess if he's not ultimately wanting to accept, he would be requesting a trial, but
All right, June 5th would be your plea deadline date.
thank you, Your Honor. Upon doing the reset, may he be excused?
Yes, thank you. All right, Deputy Laura, we're taking our break.
And it was at 1:30 today, and then they changed it to the 28th at 8:30. Well, Randy.
Okay.
Right, so you already got gonna come back on the, 28th at 8:30. 28th at 8:30, write it down.
Okay, yeah, I got it right here.
All right, 28th at 8:30?
Yes.
Okay, great.
The same call?
Same call,
Okay.
8:30.
All right.
Be safe.
All right.
All right, let's go back on the record with Mr. Herman Gordon. Mr. Gordon, I've given you an opportunity to speak to counsel. Counsel, what's your client want to do?
Your Honor, my client is respectfully requesting that counsel be appointed.
Let's pass the matter. Let's go back on the record with Mr. Lewis. Have we figured it out?
Sort of, Your Honor.
All right, I don't know what that means, but go ahead.
Alexis Schneider for the people, P80322. Attorney Harris and I have pre-tried this matter pretty extensively. I did discuss the matter with the officers, all of whom were scheduled for Mr. Lewis did appear. We did realize that Corporal Kropik has some defaulted civil infractions that apply to Mr. Lewis that we believe are too old to be lifted out of default. Attorney Harris and I discussed at length Mr. Lewis's issues with his license, his ability to maybe or maybe not get a license, his registration insurance status. Based on the probable cause for the stops, based on the number of stops and the reason for his stops, we think that if we could pull the video and review it, it would be dispositive on all of these issues and we wouldn't have to go to trial. So we are asking for a one-time adjournment for us to pull the video, either have it ready just to go over with Mr. Lewis and the attorney next time, or have someone appointed. I would defer to yours and Attorney Harris's judgment on that.
That was an accurate assessment, Your Honor, and I think that based on the fact that video is going to be provided, having an attorney appointed would be the appropriate step.
So again, that's just another way around trying to get another court date. That's all that is. If it's gonna be dispositive, then if you feel it's gonna be dispositive, then we can dismiss it, but it's just another way around getting another court date. I've given Mr. Lewis ample time to get this stuff together. And from what I see, he hasn't done anything. Now, I may be wrong about that, but looking at the driving record in the other jurisdictions that he's got, it may be wrong with that. But I mean, it's just, let's figure it out. Let's figure out a resolution today and let's get this over with.
So, Your Honor, well, I do want to clarify that he has done some things in efforts to take care of his matters and present himself with a valid license. Through no fault of his own, matters in others' jurisdictions have been adjourned. So I don't think he's able to control the calendaring and when they set court dates. With regards to resolving today, we could potentially do that, but that may also mean starting a trial. I'm not sure if the court is inclined to begin the trials at this time.
Yeah, we'll do it. I'm you know something, I'm not gonna, this is like I say, it's really another way around just getting out of this, I've already said, let's work this out. Let's work it out. I'm looking at the record. I'm looking at the driving record. Did you ever get a printout, Mr. Lewis, from the Secretary of State?
When this process first started, Your Honor.
And where is that?
I've since then removed. I don't have an up-to-date printout. I don't have an up-to-date printout from the last time we came to court and
When did you say,
whatever you did.
Mr. Lewis, when did you go get a printout from the Secretary of State?
It was around my birthday, December.
Like I asked you like I tell everyone, when I gave you the time to do it, and we had pretrial date then, right? Correct?
Correct. I think this was before our last court date. Last court date, you did something with the tickets, and you said the only thing that would keep me from getting my license would be Roseville, and you told me to take care of Roseville. I went to Roseville, they adjourned it and set it to June 12th. To my knowledge, that was the only thing holding me up because you said that would be the only thing holding me up.
No. Don't turn it back around on me.
It's not a, okay.
I told you to go get a copy of your driving record. I said, if you can't get a driver's license, get a copy of your driving record, and the Secretary of State should tell you everything that you need. Did I not say that to you?
Correct.
Okay, you said you went and got a driving record. So what did they tell you you needed?
I said I previously went and got a driver's record prior to that court date, is what I said, Your Honor. I haven't got one since then.
All right, I'm done. I've asked you the questions. If you got a driving record, they should have told you what you needed. You're not telling me what they told you. Okay, so go figure it out. Counselors, please. We'll sit here all day.
Did we order a copy of the tickets for Lieutenant Wheatley? Your Honor?
We can, but the lieutenant, Officer Wheatley, can we get order a copy of the tickets for Lieutenant Wheatley? Please. It's just a wrong way driving and a,
Yeah, ticket numbers.
SP 1682025, counts 1 and counts 2. All we're talking about is a no insurance proof civil infraction and a wrong way drive. M10 service drive in, is that Griswold?
I think Officer Wheatley has a misdemeanor too, a license suspended.
That's correct. I see that count in here. So is that SP 1682021 as well?
261?
Yeah, 20261, yes. So 2025, 1 and 2, and 2026.
Two different cases, two different tickets. One ticket got 2 points. All right, Justin Lewis, LEWIS. Justin Lewis, JUST. That's 12/9/19. No, it's the same person. Same thing. Okay.
So you give light
412
also-
was last?
U63789422.
422. Okay, gotcha.
Right. He's also got S16186113, counts 1 and counts 2, and SP167092, counts 1 and counts 2.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
There's gonna be a trial date for June the 16th. June the 16th. I'm gonna put you two in a breakout room. If you don't have anything further for the court after you get acquainted, then you're free to leave, Mr. Gordon.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right,
Fair
thank you.
enough.
Have a break.
Thank you.
All right. All right, join the room, please. All right, are we ready on Lewis?